You should probably text Andy.
We're live!
Yay!
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
We are live. Game Toppers 2.0. We are live in studio, and I have with us the illustrious, the beautiful, the wonderful, the incomparable, the majestic.
Oh my gosh.
K King from Level Up Games.
Hi, guys. How's it going? Can I get you to follow me around everywhere and just introduce me like that?
You could have a placard, the majestic one.
Yes. Just Burky wearing a funny hat and a bugle. Just
Speaking of hats.
Oh, yes.
So
It just wouldn't be it wouldn't be Burky without a top hat.
Oh,
right?
gosh, no.
I think the real question is, do we need a headphone warning on this live show here?
Yes, because we might get a little loud.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry, guys.
if we get a little overexposed, we have no compression on our sound setup, so forgive us. But I got to tell you, K King, I had this. A lot of you may have heard this story, but I first met Kay about 3 years ago, back at the Con of the North, and this was when we had a board game theater episode, and I was the king of royals.
Oh, yes.
I even have my own meeple. Look at this. I even have a meeple.
I have several of those.
You have several of the meeples. Well, when she saw the Board Game Breakfast Dice Tower video of us, she recognized me. She goes, "The king!" And she screamed, and we became immediate friends. And since then, 1 year we brought our prototype wooden game topper, and Kay sat down at the Undead Viking room.
Yes. Oh, it was so beautiful. I fell in love with it back then. I am still one of the biggest cheerleaders for Game Toppers, so it was beautiful back then. It's even more impressive now, obviously, as you guys have seen.
Well, and Kay, when she backed our first Kickstarter, she bought 4 of them.
I mean,
then she got a couple more because of game nights with Level Up Games, and
yeah, I think I ended up buying 6 of them, but I don't like to. It's not a brag, trust me. My bank account was not happy about that, but I gave them to. I have 2 different game groups, so I gave one to each of my game groups, and I said, why would I lug my own game topper around where I could just conveniently have one here?
Well, and Kay is an amazing ambassador for the hobby. She works for Level Up Games in Minneapolis, and they have 3 locations and
4 now.
4 locations.
Yes,
the new
4.
Hastings location.
Exactly. Yes.
Wow, right? Fantastic place. And when you go to Con of the North and go to Level Up Games, Kay is right there demoing games, and she brings what we all want for this hobby, all the best, all the joy, all the it's really the truth.
You can't see me turning 17 shades of red. It's fine.
Kay helped us at some of our conventions, and she's helped us at the Gamma Trade Show. And so Kay has actually had a lot of experience with Game Toppers. She doesn't know maybe all the exact little manufacturing things that Josiah and I are more intimate with, but nonetheless, she's helped collaborate and has a great resource if you ever have questions. And from a retailer standpoint, too, we have the wonderful Queen's Gambit pledge.
Yes.
And as a retailer, you can get units to your retail store at a discount price and be able to resell Game Toppers, including our gaming mats. And that whole program is going to be launched in September. And at Reno, we signed up over 70 people.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. It was such a great response, though. So many retailers are interested in the Game Toppers. They've heard about them, and they're just looking forward to having something in their stores that's manageable, that they can set up, because not all game stores are made equal. Not everyone has the dedicated space to accommodate all of their customers, and Game Toppers gives them that flexibility. And I talked to so many wonderful couples. Thank you so much for stopping by and saying hi to us and checking out the Game Toppers. It was great meeting you guys.
It really was. We're going to have an e-letter going out to all of those affiliates here too, and encourage you, if you'd like to trick out your store with Game Toppers and actually bring some additional revenue, feel free to join in that Queen's Gambit pledge level. I guess a couple things that we want to talk about. We're seeing people start to join the chat already. Because 3 of us are here, we're unable to see the computer. Josiah is going to manage the questions. But first off, I just have to say, 800%.
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I saw it this morning and I freaked out. It was awesome.
And we've not yet begun. We have full 5 days, almost 6 days left to really blow through some things. And I still have some desires for us to even hit 750,000. Now, Gen Con's coming up. So if we don't reach that number during this campaign, we know that we're going to be able to give backers an opportunity to add to their pledges after the campaign until August 25th. We're going to leave all the prices the same so that many of you are helping us get to these stretch goals, and we really need that, okay? But secondly, we also know it's a big spend.
Yeah, that's true.
So sometimes you want to go in for the Scotland Yard bundle, buy that now. Get that whole package, but then you want to add an extension leaf or an accessory rail bundle after the fact to be able to kind of split it up into 2 payments. Mm-hmm. That's something that it will really help you. For us, it's good either way, but we're really hoping to continue our momentum. Mm-hmm. So anything all of you wonderful backers can do, I mean, 30 stretch goals have been unlocked.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. I'm excited.
Wait till you hear what we're going to talk about today and what you're going to see in the next coming days.
I've been seeing all the things in person, and I had to everyone could hear me in the house squealing like a little schoolgirl because I was like, "Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that!" It's amazing. I'm so excited.
Kay saw the new Scythe-inspired mat.
It's so pretty. Like the minute I saw it, I was like, I need to play Scythe now. Like not later, now. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love it, guys. I love it.
Well, it was weird. I put Wingspan on top of it even, and the colors, of Wingspan are a little more lighter and pastel, and yet it was like I could absolutely play that on there.
Oh gosh, I believe it. I believe it.
And there's so many resource games, and we posted that on the top of the campaign page, showing it in the 3-foot by 6-foot orientation with the premium walnut Sherlock Holmes model. Crazy cool. Do you have any quick questions or tell us who's in?
We have a couple questions. So Andrew asked, do the mats fit in the mat holders if they're also in the bags?
That's a fantastic question. And yes, we have thought of that. In the different rack storage mats, the JJ Burkton and the Lord Burkton, we have 3 holes in the Lord Burkton. And 3 of them are larger that can actually handle a rail standing up in front of it and the thicker XL mats. So we're going to have various sizes so that we can handle 6-foot and regular Watson size and so forth.
Nice.
Great question.
There's actually a couple sitting in a rack holder right over there.
Yeah, you can't see it, but there's actually one of the bags right now, one of the big Mycroft, I think it is, sitting in there in its storage bag.
I can vouch for them. It's legit. It's there right there.
It's totally there, guys.
Well, we did something
today.
This here, these storage bags, I got to tell you, it's so crazy. The artwork in the campaign doesn't do it justice. We tried to do nice art assets, but these things are fantastic. Look at that clear window. In there is a actual sample scythe mat. There's a hook on the back here so that you can hang it. You've got this really cool handle that can be either put on your shoulder or carry to game night. And these are going to be made in different sizes. So whichever size mat you get, it's going to basically fit those mats, and it's such a wonderful way to store your mats.
Hi, Barry.
Barry says hi. Hello.
Is it Barry Dobleto?
Yes.
Sir Barry Dobleto, how are you, my friend?
The only Barry that matters in my heart. Oh man, I'm gonna get him in trouble.
That was good. That was good. So again, guys, thank you so much. Everyone that have joined the campaign have been so thoughtful, so kind. Yesterday, I put out an update, and as I was writing the update, my heart was just gushing with gratitude because of the support, the encouragement, my former backers, Generation 1 backers. They're just jumping in with so much enthusiasm, and then the new people are like, I can see them coming in every day. they're checking out what's new. They're excited. They like, what's Burky coming up with? You know, what are we doing?
It's crazy. I love it. It's amazing how much you can do. It's such a simple idea, but once you get it in front of you, you're just like, the possibilities are endless. And I love that about this product, that it can grow with you and your collection and your family for years to come. It's beautiful, Burky. You made a beautiful thing.
Thank you. I love you, man.
I love you too, Burky. You're the best.
Okay, so the mutual love affair fest here. We're going to move on. So let's talk about some stretch goals. Do we have another question?
Yep. So we have Joseph asks, is there going to be a bundle for the, I'm not quite sure exactly what he's meaning here, but he says molded special toppers that include the same items as the normal packages. The new Odin ones don't have the same items and included a rail. So I think he's asking if there's going to be a different type of Odin bundle for the sculpted rails.
What we've done with the particular Dogmite trays, Dogmite is such a fantastic partner of ours. When you see these sculpted rails, and you can see it a little bit here in the video, what do they look like in person compared to the pictures?
I mean, it's just beautiful. It's like, it's nice and smooth, which is great. Like you would think sometimes with the cutout edges, you might be concerned that it might be raised and like catch on anything, but it's actually super smooth to the touch. It's just a beautiful art asset more than anything. It brings your eyes to the wood and the table, but it looks amazing.
And we had someone ask that, I think, in the comments of the Kickstarter, where they're like, how does it feel to put your arm on there? And because we had just gotten this, I hadn't actually tried it, but the whole last live stream, 2.5 hours, I basically had my arm on there, and I didn't notice it at all or have marks on my arm.
And part of it goes to the engineering. We designed all of the edges of the aluminum frame very round and soft so that it's very comfortable, so that you do not have that. And in addition, we've managed the tolerances to be very tight. We have one individual I know that actually has a disease where if things are out of place, it'll cause him to get rashes.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a sample piece that the wood was just a hair too high, and he said, "Is it going to be that way?" I said, "No, we fixed that," and that was before our last delivery. So the tolerances are very tight, so you don't feel any sharpness. Everything is round, and Dogmite hand sands these sculpts. The finish, I've been very, very clear with them. This is our quality expectation, and they're like, we know how you are, and that's how we want to perform as well. And they've been fantastic. So to answer your question, the Valhalla screen, the dice sheath for either the Viking or the Fire Dragon now includes a set of halvesies dice when you buy the set. Okay, this is a limited edition sculpt set from them. In the colors that are matching your topper. So it's fantastic because, the dragon is going to match the Fire Dragon. The Yggdrasil screen back here matches. This is the exact same stains so that you have this beautiful kit. In addition to that, we unlocked the Valhalla screen bag that's $28. And a beautiful bag with foam pieces. That's all going to be included in there. So you can buy that as an add-on. The Odin bundle, which that's one thing right here that we're just going to start to talk about. We just unlocked the $400,000 Odin and Dragon Master bundles. Yes, these are awesome.
The stretch goals are at $400,000, not the price of the.
Yeah.
No, well, if you would like to contribute $400,000, we can have a separate discussion.
Investment options, call now.
There are definite perks to that funding level. So the Odin bundle is basically to go with the Viking, and the Dragon Master to go with the Dragon pledge levels. These are these custom sculpted Dogmite toppers made in the Watson size and made in the home size. And what those bundles include, you get a premium padded storage bag. And I want to talk about storage bags too. Our bags are fantastic for keeping your topper protected, making it portable, allowing you to store it in your closet, under the bed, whatever, in a nice package.
Oh, definitely.
They're really beautifully logoed, high quality stitching. They're come in 2 halves. So you put 1 half of your topper on one side, zip it up, the other flap opens up. There's also pouches in there that allow you to store your components. And now with our new collapsible cups that we're going to talk about later, they fit nicely in that pouch. So it's much better.
It's padded in the middle too.
Correct. There's a divider that's padded in between that protects the rails. Well, that'd be an important thing for this type of handcrafted product. So we knew you'd want a nice storage bag, okay? Secondly, we figured you'd probably want that complete virtuoso bundle where you have 2 of the double component trays, 4 of the single cup holders, 16 collapsible cups, or excuse me, 8 collapsible cups, and 16 of these wonderful acrylic coasters, 8 of the smaller ones to create the flat bottom, and 8 of the bigger ones. So that's included. But in addition to that, many of you have reached out to me personally, and I responded to you by saying, yes, we're going to make some extra accessory rails so that you can make a beautiful Lestrade out of your homes, or a Hudson out of your Watson. And that's what we're playing right now. We have a Lestrade version as a sample of our Viking for our prototype.
Sorry, I can't stop myself from touching all the things, guys. I'm sorry. I get distracted easily.
I'm telling you, folks, these are super simple, are super wonderful. And we are actually going to be at Gen Con, and we're partnering with Miniature Market. Miniature Market is going to have some of our existing mats that we have in overstock at their show.
Yes.
They're going to be higher priced than what you can get on our Kickstarter now. So I want to assure you, nobody's getting a better deal than you're getting. That was very important to us. So we adjusted all the prices up to the retail prices. But we did have this arrangement with Miniature Market prior, and this was a fantastic way for us to get a booth presence, even though we have 30 publishers all over the show using game toppers.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. They're everywhere. If you haven't seen a game topper in person, I have no idea what you're doing. You have to get your eyes checked. Especially if you go to these conventions, they're literally everywhere. It was amazing to have like people come by the booth when we were at Origins, and they'd go, I had no idea I was playing on a game topper. I thought it was just some fancy game table. And then I get up and I saw your business card, and I was just like, I need to stop by that booth. It's amazing how beautifully they just and seamlessly they integrate into everything.
Well, that's been, we're so grateful for all of our partners. Cool Mini or Not, Renegade Game Studios is going to have 6 new ones in their main booth. And then we have this big side room that they have where they're doing Architects of the West Kingdom and Clank tournaments. We're going to have 15 game topper mats in there, and a great big premium walnut homes being displayed with all of their other premium games. Alderatic Entertainment Group, AEG. I mean, these are companies of significance and quality, and it's who we want to be associated with. John Zinzer, a good friend of mine from AEG, they have 12 game toppers. A Cool Mini or Not has 18 of them. And their whole booth is going to be tricked out. Gray Fox Games. I mean, you're going to be able to play on our Viking mat, on our luxuriant Watson oak topper in the Gray Fox Games booth with the Viking mat on Reavers of Midgard.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, really?
Just talked to Alex Goldsmith and Shane about it. Crazy cool. So anyway, that's the way that bundle is. Another thing that I want to talk about regarding new stretch goals later, we do have an idea to create a bundle of a basic component bundle and the storage bag that will give you kind of an entry-level bundle, save you a little bit of money, and save you a bunch of money on shipping. And we're going to call it the Elementary Dear Watson bundle. It's elementary.
Oh man, there's a lot of cheese to spread around. It's great.
Is there any other questions?
So I think the elementary bundle, and we'll probably talk more about that in some detail here in a bit. So
Exactly.
You're looking for that information. Joseph also asked, have there been any improvements to the mats since Gen 1, or are they basically the same?
Our Gen 1 mats are fantastic mats, 3 millimeter premium. We did have some of the 2 millimeter that people could enjoy just for their entry level that were looking for a lower price point, but we allowed people to upgrade those. This time, we unlocked a stretch goal that allows you to upgrade those now for only $29. So it was even a little cheaper to upgrade because my volume pricing is kicking in a little better. But one of the big improvements we've made is our prior wood grain mat was one that was under our blackjack mat. Because of the filters used and everything to create the blackjack artwork to stand out, it was a little blurry. And it also had an art asset in the corner where it was actually a stain to make it look like an old table. Well, that asset, that art overlay didn't get removed from it. Some people thought that the thing was stained. They thought it was a real stain.
I remember those comments.
But the truth is that tells you how awesome the printing is because people could not tell. That's how great the printing is. That mat, though, however, I listened to that feedback and we went and made a brand new wood grain mat, and we're dialing in the color usage of that right now. It's much more brown and it's gorgeous, high resolution. We have a sample here. Our hues are slightly off and we're going to tweak those. But that was part of the process of me printing a lot of these sample mats to make sure they're up to our standards. And all of the mats now are being printed from high resolution files as well. And when you see this Viking mat, you see the scythe mat. I mean, tell me what you think about this art.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Like if I saw the pictures like on a phone and I thought, oh, that's great. But when you see it in person, it literally feels like the fields are coming to life in front of you. It was like the kind of thing I was just like, okay, I want to go home. I want to play a Feast for Odin. I want to play Agricola on this. I want to play Scythe. I want to play all of the games all of the time. Burky is secretly getting a blank check for me for all of these mats I'm buying. It's not a secret, guys.
This here is the scythe mat.
There's just something about when it's the full size that it just pops.
It's so pretty. Look, the trees, they're dancing.
The art assets of this is so spectacular. I know that a little webcam, we are not doing it justice. I do want to make mention of one other thing.
Wait till you see it at Gen Con. It's going to blow your socks off.
Yes, we're actually going to have 3 of these scythe-inspired mats at the Meeple Source booth. And we're going to have 3 Adler toppers there. Oh, yes. And super excited. You'll actually be able to see a preview of them there. You'll be able to see the beautiful Viking mat at the Gray Fox booth. They're not for sale. Sorry. We don't have them printed. We only had a couple samples that were available. But we've formed a partnership with a fantastic company. So exciting. And we're doing a bunch more with other significant companies as well. But the company Breaking Games has a brand new Kickstarter that's running right now with their Dwellings of Eldervale. Oh, yeah. And this thing is going through the moon. They're knocking it out of the park. It's at like 380,000. Oh, I love it. The miniatures are fantastic. I saw the gameplay at Origins. The presence is amazing. Well, they saw our mats at Origin and started talking to me. And we were actually introduced, Peter Vaughn and Sherry, the owner, were introduced from the good folks at Tantrum House. Yeah. We ended up having a great meeting, hit it off right away. We've had fantastic interactions since. So we went and made a sample mat for their Dwellings of Everdale. Okay. And this here is just something.
I have to blame my friend Bree, who was demoing the game for them at Origins. This way. Oh, this way. For getting me to insta-back this. Thanks, Bree.
Pick it up a little more. There you go. Look at that. I don't know if you pull it straight if you can. We'll see. You pull your way. There you go. Can you see that?
You can see the hex maps on there. There's a dragon. It looks so cool.
This here is the premium 3mm stitched edge, high gloss, high resolution. It's just fantastic. And these are available through the Breaking Games campaign for $69. a stitched edge. We will be doing the fulfillment for them. Really a fantastic, beautiful. They might do a little tweaking on the size of their hexes and things like that, but it's beautiful. And again, it speaks to the quality. Thankful. This was really kind of a neat compliment. Just a couple weeks ago, Tom Vassell from the Dice Tower had the crowd surfing segment, and Tom said Burky has some of the best mats in the business.
That's true. That is very true.
Well,
you've spoiled me. I literally, so at one of our stores, we have these beautiful custom-made wood tables that our carpenter makes for us. And every time I game on them, I go, I need Game Toppers mats in the store. The owner won't let me cover them up, but I'm just like, Burky's ruined me for life. I need a Game Topper mat.
At the very least, you need to get a mat because you can pick up your cards so simply. The way the dice roll, and then the environment, to be able to create these environments of the game that you're playing with just takes it another notch. And that was the whole mission statement, upgrading everybody's gaming experience. And the truth is about a Game Topper mat, every game you play from here on out is upgraded. Yeah. It's like you have a virtual upgrade for every game that you play.
Upgrades your entire collection. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Right?
Any other questions?
Yeah, we have quite a few at this point. So we have Mark asked, can we get a double rail for the Odin dragon instead of just one?
Yes, thank you very much. I've already had several people ask for that, and the answer is yes. We can make those. They're going to be $249 for the rail bundle. That includes the appropriate size miniature mat and the sculpted rail, whether it's the Viking or the dragon. We will have that in the late pledge manager as an option. So you'll be able to say, if you wanted just the Odin bundle, and then if you just wanted the Dragon Master bundle, but then you said, I want an extra rail, the question will come up and ask you if you want additional rail. So no problem.
Nice.
And that's probably a good move because this is a really limited edition scenario.
Andrew says 3mm is the way to go. He's a Gen 1 backer and is back for more mats and maybe some cup holders and mat bags.
Hey, let me talk about mat bags and that for a second. One of the stretch goals we unlocked, and I had an intention to do this. I just didn't know financially if I could do it. And I thought, you know what? I have a ton of my existing backers that want to get in on the campaign. And so how could I do something that was a loyalty reward, but also reward new backers? Not despairing between first gen and second gen. It's everybody that's a part of Game Topper Nation should enjoy it. Okay. So I was thinking, how do I do this to make it fair and equitable and blah, blah, blah. And then I got to figure out my business plan, make sure that I'm, doing a good job to be here for you too, right? Well, I was able to negotiate very good pricing on these bags with my actual manufacturer that has a partner company. Long and short of all of that, stretch goal was unlocked. If you buy 2 Game Topper premium 3mm mats, you're going to get the Kickstarter pricing that's like $30 to $40 off of the retail. And my Kickstarter pricing, I know you guys know this, but I've owned a ton of mats, 1mm mats that I've purchased in the past. I've spent $100, $125 on far inferior quality mats.
Yeah, been there, done that. But yeah, these are amazing.
And you've sold mats in your store, and you know what mats go for.
I have mats in my store that we buy to cover up the ugly plastic tables that we won't talk about. And yeah, they are hot garbage. And people ask us to buy them all the time, and I'm just like, please look online. Do not ask me to order this for you because they get ruined so quickly. Like 2 events, we have 2 events in a weekend, and they're dead. So these are but your mats are amazing. I've had them for years, and I have to say this, it's not endorsed by Game Toppers. I put my mats in the washing machine and it works great. I know, they're looking at me like, why would you do that?
If you put your mat in the washing machine and they change their shape, it's Kay's fault, not Game Topper's fault.
I'm sorry, guys.
And she will be warranting those mats. If you do that, we tell you don't do that. But if you do, she's gonna buy you a new mat.
There you
is
go.
the way it
I'm
works,
sorry,
so.
guys. I'm sorry. Oh man, do I need to mortgage my house
It's just
now?
part of the blank check.
Ah, dang it!
There
I
you
knew
go.
I shouldn't have done that.
No, Jamie Katie from the Secret Cabal jokes about it too because
took a
he washed.
shower with it.
Yeah, he put it in. Put his shower on it, and then he hung it over the shower because he was washing. They spilled some libations on it, I guess. Or
Yes.
something. So anyway, back to the rail bundle or the mat bundle. You buy 2 of these mats, super attractively priced, but you are going to get 2 of these storage bags. They're normally $19. You can buy them individually for $15. We even unlocked a stretch goal where you can buy 4 of those bags. So if you've got a bunch of mats that you want bags, I thought, how do I make that better where it makes sense? Buy 4 of them. You get them for $40, $10 a piece. But if you when you order these 2 mats, we just are implemented we're almost unlocked the stretch goal because I think we're at about 408,000 right now.
Mm-hmm.
At 410,000, not only do you get all that stuff, wait, there's more.
Wait.
Instead of it being $20 to ship each of your game mats or $15 to ship each of your game mats, we are implementing in our shipping chart to give you an additional deal. You're going to be able to ship both mats, both bags for $20 in the continental United States.
Oh, nice.
So a very fraction upcharge to be able to do it. In addition to that, Canada enjoys that same bundling effect where it's $30 for 2 mats.
Nice.
International backers, have no fear. Everything changes internationally because everything goes about by weight.
Yeah.
But it is still an incremental upcharge to ship 2 of them versus 1. It's not like we have to charge you. There's a cost to us. We've kind of rounded it down to even save you a little bit of money. You'll see in our shipping charts at the bottom that information, but you also will enjoy discounts if you buy multiples.
Nice.
We even went so far to find out what would happen if you bought 4. Would it be $20 and then another $20 for the extra 2?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually only another $10 for the extra 2.
Oh, nice.
So you actually overall save about $60 if you were from buying them individually.
Yeah, definitely. That's fantastic.
So we've done some bundling of shipping, and that's one other thing that we do want to talk about. I want to make sure I get to your questions, but we are implementing some things right now as one of our stretch goals. When you buy a package, you're getting a storage bag that normally costs $35 to ship, $25 to ship. You're getting a Virtuoso bundle that normally costs $25 to ship. You're getting 2 mats that would cost you at least $20 to ship. You're getting some extras that are coming up on some stretch goals that cost you extra money to ship. Well, guess what? We've engineered our packaging and negotiated our rate. You're going to get, if you buy the packages, the Scotland Yard package, the Baker Street package, the Reichenbach Falls package, you are not going to pay any extra shipping. The only thing you'll pay extra shipping for is like your rail bundles, your extension leads. Some of the new components will come in separate packaging, but all of that other stuff, we're saving you a ton of money on shipping. And when we come out with this new elementary stretch goal that we just talked about, a bag and some cup holders, we're going to work that in to where it's shipping included, where you won't pay anything to ship those when you order it with your topper pledge. That's
awesome. All these fantastic things I'm learning today.
Well, everything we're doing is trying to, how do we make it better for you? How do we make, I'm going to make sure it makes good business sense. Please understand that I'm not making foolish decisions, just trying to appease people. In fact, I've had to say no to some things that, listen, it's just not in our wheelhouse right now. And if I do that, that could jeopardize something. And I don't want to do that. And yet, on the other side of it, I'll do everything I can to accommodate my backers. I love you guys. You guys have been great to us in any way that I can. And I'm listening. I really do listen.
Oh,
so please understand that when I can perform for you, I will do my best.
Yeah. So far, from my personal experience, Burky runs the tightest of all Kickstarter ships. I just like, it's amazing seeing it from the inside because you can only imagine, but he spends so much time working on every single little detail, you guys. You have no idea how hard this man works for you. You need to take a break. Like, I think he's gonna need a vacation after this, or he's gonna age by 20 years.
It's not the age; it's the mileage. It's just the mileage. I'm over 200,000 miles, man, and I need a tune-up.
Time to trade you in, get a new
Trade me
model.
in. Trade me in for the younger
the
JJ
new
Burky.
model. Okay, Josiah's like, I'm ready. Put me in, Captain.
Put me in, Coach. Put me in.
That's great.
We're having a lot of fun here. This
Oh,
is great.
man, that's fantastic.
Another question.
Yes.
So we have Stefan asks, are there any talks about a 1.0 backer bundle, maybe 2 mats, 4 mat bags, the new cup holders, and an acrylic cover?
Yeah, honestly, we've had a lot of people say that, and it's like, it gets really funky for me to try to disparage between both sets of backers, and we're going to have Generation 3 backers too. So what we did was the stretch goals. If you see those packages, like when we made the new Virtuoso bundle, we made the decision to go this collapsible cup deal. And when we changed the packages for only $29, that was my cost. I'm not making any more money on it. I had a discussion with you, and you said, Burky, you should charge.
I tell you should charge 50.
And then she tells me I'd pay 100 for them. And
I'm horrible. People are gonna think I have like this bottomless bank account. I don't, guys. I'm so
she
broke.
just loves this stuff.
In reality, I've mortgaged out my child just to pay for my gaming addiction.
Well, I think the thing you need to understand is my desire was to give you my best. We're doing a Kickstarter. Those prices are going to need to go up in the future, but the Virtuoso bundle, pricing it at $239, I have to provide packaging for that equipment also. And so there are costs and logistics involved in getting the product to you. So I'm not enjoying any additional profit. So I have done exactly what you're saying. So when you see these bundles, please understand these are loyalty bundles for my backers. If I could do better, I would. This is what I felt I needed to do so that we didn't experience any difficulties. But those were significant in the tune of $30,000 to $40,000 decisions that I've made to provide extra benefits to my Kickstarter backers. So thank you so much for that, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do with all of these specials. And some of the ones you're going to be seeing coming forward here, this elementary bundle will be exactly like that. And that's a loyalty reward.
Joseph asks, so does the Space 3mm mat from this Kickstarter be higher res than Gen 1, or only the brand new mat's higher res? So specifically, the only mat that is higher res than previously is the wood grain, because that one was a lower res. All of our other mats are already high resolution, so they don't need to have a higher resolution because they're already the resolution we want them at. So, and our new mats will match our resolution. So.
Can they come with 3D glasses so that you can dive into them?
Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh my gosh.
One thing that we haven't talked about, I was going to do it as a stretch goal, and things got busy, but I already made the decision and I already did it. My art designer that is doing our mats and our files, we only have 3 mats now that have logos on them. And it's our red, classic crimson red, our cobalt blue, and the new steel gray. And I tell you, that steel gray, it's classy.
Yeah, just add it to my list. It's fun.
When you see it next to this powder coated black, it's slick. Love. But people are saying, well, I don't want those logos. I know, I get it. Honest to God, I get it. I don't want to create something that's not cool. But I believe that our Game Topper logo, this is cool in my mind. This is, to me, is like a Nike type of logo. And it's, I'm crazy biased. I get it. But many of these standard mats are what are at the game shows, at the conventions. These are the mats that are in the gaming stores. And that's the only way that I can brand them. And I have to do that. I would be foolish not to do that. Stefan Burchard from Yellow Games, he said, Burky, never forget to brand. And I've always done that in my past business. And I said, I agree wholeheartedly. So while I agree some people don't like it, I understand. Please do not feel like I'm dismissing you, but I have to do this. But I did make a compromise. The adventure mat, we made before kind of a watermark type of logo, so it didn't interfere with the art much. It was kind of tone on tone. But we've removed the logos from the castle mat, from the space mat, from the dungeon mat, and the adventure mat. Okay. So all of the mats, except for those standard pattern color mats, have the logos removed. And that was, again, listening to your guys' thoughts. And so we're giving you 16 options of mats. And please understand, I'm doing the very best I can to provide as many cool options as I can. But I can't always do everything, but that's one cool thing we've done there.
So Challenge Games and Comics says, I don't let any of my customers eat or put sodas on my toppers. I think that, and he posted that back when we were talking about the mats and getting stuff on the mats. So
that's good practice.
Tony's a great guy from Challenge Games and Comics in Atlanta. Bought several toppers down there. He's taken them to shows. He posts his pictures all the time in the store about people are just, they love playing on it, right?
Oh, I just saw that on Instagram the other day. I was wondering. Yeah, Challenges. I knew I recognized the name somewhere. Or is it Facebook? I'm sorry, I'm rambling, guys.
Yeah. That's cool.
Brian asks, in this campaign, how have you adjusted from the lessons learned from manufacturing and fulfillment of the first campaign?
Wow.
Just read through old updates, and I'm impressed how you handled the challenges.
Wow, thank you so much. You know, I have business experience and have learned a lot, but there's two things that are my paradigm in business. The first one is treat other people as I want to be treated. I just believe in that. It sounds cliche, but that's exactly what I believe in. I do not like it when I am treated antiseptically. I don't like it when I get a cold email that is an auto-generated one. We'll get back to you in a week if we feel like it. You know, I hate that. So I don't do that to people. We implement procedures that make sure that you're going to get personal attention and care. Secondly, is to give the customer more than they expect. So I work really hard to make sure that happens. And if there is a mistake, you know, we're human beings. We work with human beings. Our manufacturers, they are human beings. One of the benefits that I have working with a local manufacturer in my hometown, last year when we sent out the first wave of our homes toppers, okay, there was like 50 units that came in this first one that we were just shipping and then starting to ship the other ones. We shipped them out. We found out that one of our customers had bought a rail bundle and he put the screws in and it wouldn't go in all the way. Well, that horrified me. What's going on? Well, he found out that my manufacturer just hadn't tapped the screw deep enough. So I go over to the owner, wonderful relationship. These people have responded to us, have performed for us. When we show you something else later, I'm going to show you how good they are. And they have the same philosophy that I have. Immediately said, oh boy, we're so sorry. They sent a semi down to our fulfillment center, picked up all of those units, unboxed them, retapped every hole. In addition to that, every one of the units that were shipped out, they went and bought these special hex head screwdrivers. They were like $8 a piece, plus the self-tapping screws, and mailed them out to every customer with a set of instruction, and they did it within a week.
Yep. I got a set of those, and I was impressed. I was amazed that the response time was that quick on it. Honestly, like other people hadn't even received their toppers yet. It wasn't even, no one was talking about it. I was like, this is amazing response, Burky. I've never had an issue fixed that quickly.
Well, it was unfortunate that it happened. They were dismayed that it happened. It was just something that happens. And these things happen. Last year, on the last campaign, our luxuriant die, it actually broke when they were installing. So we had to deliver the standard rails first. So immediately we went, okay, what can we do to expedite that die? We paid extra money to actually have that made really quickly. We started working to find out how to mitigate that. And we were actually within just a couple months of actually fulfilling on that one. All the other ones we started fulfilling pretty close to on time. So this campaign, when you say, what have I learned? Oh, good grief. I'm in a constant state of learning. I have a lot to learn. I don't think I have it all together, but I have learned some things. And one of the things that we've learned is about our packaging, how to improve it. We've learned how to ship better. We've learned how to package things in a way that makes the kitting process much quicker. The addition of Josiah to our team, he's a computer science major. he's way smarter than I am. I always say it like that. But he is doing a bang up job with our logistics, our inventory, and our warehouse. And one of the things we haven't talked a ton about is that last year, starting in February, we actually purchased our own center, our building. It's like 5,000 square foot, 3.5 acres. We renovated the pick and pull side, which is like a 28 by 60 area, painted, LED lighting, made it and a really clean room. Our office is there. Also, our storage is there. So the shipping of our product from my manufacturer, my hometown, goes right there. Immediately, we manage our inventory. Immediately, we're directly in control. We're not having to outsource anything. So our capabilities and our response have went up 5 times. So super pumped about that. So I guess that's the long answer of we're still learning. If we make mistakes or if we have a problem, sometimes you don't make a mistake, just stuff happens and you can't control it. And all you can do at that point is say, listen, what are we going to do to make it right? I'm going to be transparent. After this campaign, you will continue to hear from me. You guys know I haven't done I don't spam your email. I don't do that. But when I have information, I'm going to share it to you. I shared our packaging. I shared when the shipments went out. I did inside pictures of the manufacturing, and you're going to hear from me and you're going to see the process, and I'm not going away. You're still going to be able to reach me, and I'll be as responsive later as I am now. So.
Andy says, I can vouch for these play mats. They're awesome. I won't play without them.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
We also have Breaking Games in the chat.
Awesome.
Hi.
Peter, thank you so much. We just showed off your gorgeous Dwellings of Eldervale mat that's on Kickstarter right now. And it's crazy cool. You can go there on Kickstarter too. Check it out. But it's a pleasure working with you folks.
And then Challenge Games and Comics asks, will there be accessory packages for retailers?
That's a really good question. We are going to be doing special packages that you are able to resell, of course, like we've talked about. But as an affiliate, you are going to get special pricing for your demo units in the store. And that'll be reflective in our sales kit that's going to come out in late September.
We have, hey, Burky, Big 1.0 backer here and looking for mats, etc. You guys are great. I joined late, so I'm not sure if someone has asked. On the new fantasy mat, are the 1-inch squares a for sure thing?
They are. We are planning on doing the 1-inch square, all kinds of discussion. But I was so confident in my artist capability that Yaroslav, he's a Polish professor of art. He's done the artwork for Reavers of Midgard. He's the one who did our Viking mat. I cannot tell you I love the new scythe mat. We should talk about it. It's crazy. It's off the hook. This Viking mat is my favorite mat I've ever seen.
That's beautiful.
It just blows my mind how gorgeous. I keep finding things in it. I told him too. I said, put some Easter eggs in there. You look up in the mountains, you're going to find something pretty cool laying there. It's just that awesome. Well, the fantasy thing, when I sent him my sketch for the different realms, the Dwarven realm and the wooded elven glade in the tree forest, the orc den and the human castle. I mean, you're seeing that first sketch that he sent back to me and the first coloration. This is the process that happens where another coloration is coming. Then after that coloration, he'll ask me, do I need to change anything? And I'll say, yeah, let's keep that off the edge or Could we add this here? We collaborate. Then he does it again. And then he comes in and puts in all these cool little details. And that just takes a lot of time. This was one of the more later projects that we had scheduled. So we're not quite done, but I had enough trust in all of you and my artists that we were going to do it well and know the process. So I think you'll get a little behind the scenes, look behind the door on how that art process happens.
Joseph asks, do you stain and assemble all toppers on site, or do they come in stained? Does this include the Viking dragon, or are those pre-stained and shipped to you?
Boy, those are some great questions. Super awesome. The wood we have outsourced from a northern Minnesota company, and they mill the wood to our specifications, very tight tolerances, and we're crazy picky about it. Last time we had one batch that came in, and the finish was a little bubbled. They didn't dry it enough before they stacked it, and there was some marring. And when we pulled them out, I went, bull roar, this is not acceptable. and right away, my manufacturer said, yeah, this is not acceptable. They called me immediately when they saw it, because our quality control process, each topper is assembled and they're put together to make sure that everything is right. Okay, that's part of my checklist that I've gone through with them, because I'm picky. It's just the way it is. I'm picky.
You're a discerning customer. You're not picky.
Well, and so attention to detail matters to me.
Yes, definitely.
And so that's why I probably drive myself nuts. But I want to push for excellence, and that just means doing the best that you can. Excellence is not being perfect, folks. We're human beings. We make mistakes. It's just going to happen. But excellence is pushing, doing the best that you can do. So pursue excellence in your life. Good things will happen to you. We've tried to do that. So all of these wood strips are finished. We went away from last generation's Waverly stain. It was stained on oak. Okay. There's some problems with oak. Oak is beautiful wood. I love it. But it's a different grain, and it can chip a little bit differently depending on the saw cut, the sharpness of blades, blah, blah, blah. So we would have differences in coloration on the corner blocks, for instance, when we stained it because of natural wood properties. Oak in particular is wider grain. So we've made an adjustment because we couldn't match from one batch to the next. Now we're doing natural finish on top of wood, and the new strips are ash, which is in the same category of oak, actually a little tighter grain. It takes the stain very consistently. The ash is then used a really heavy duty catalytic finish. It's almost marine grade, the hardness. There's several coats of it. It goes through a sanding process. All of that wood comes to us fully assembled or fully stained and finished, and then it is personally assembled at our manufacturer here in my local town. The adhesive goes in, and it's crazy good adhesive, so we never worry about any twisting of the wood or any movement. We haven't had an issue with that since we went to this adhesive. Dogmite Games, the reason the Viking and the Dragon, there's no greed involved in trying to produce these. It just takes us a ton of extra effort, but I wanted to do something cool. I wanted something heirloom and something that almost one of a kindish, not quite, but you need to do enough volume to make it worth anybody's while to do it. Dogmite stepped up to the plate, said we can only do so much. They're very busy. They're a fantastic company.
You guys are awesome.
But they agreed to do these 40 toppers maximum and some accessory rails for us. We supply the wood custom cut to tolerance. We have to mail it to them. They then sculpt it. Then they stain it there. Then they finish it there in a very similar process, but theirs is more handcrafted when it comes to sanding the sculpts and all that. Then it gets shipped back to us, and we actually install that in our facility here. So Josiah and Lord Burkton here, you're gonna, if you get a sculpted rail, our personal handiwork are going to be on them. assuring that they are done well.
Lord Buckton, come in here. Shall we double our efforts?
What did I get into, guys?
Okay.
Mark says the Viking longboat dice tower looks great. Maybe we could get Rob to paint one. Rob Warren to paint one.
Oh, that'd be awesome. When I get some, I will definitely send some down to Robert.
And maybe now this is the time to show off something
Wonderful.
else.
Let's do that. Keep the questions coming. We'll get to you. But let's talk about these upcoming stretch goals. We just talked about the shipping savings. Fantastic. But this has been a very long, very arduous, dedicated process that I've worked with Ben from Daedalus. Ben's been working on these designs. He's an amazing designer. He really is. But this process is a process that he's developing that allows for more functionality than we've had. So there's a lot that goes into doing something that is mold injected. One of the things that we first revealed was these new poker trays. You can see that we have some here. There's also a leg kit that can go on these poker trays that fit into these holes so it fits on your rail. So everybody can have their own tray.
So it slides.
Yeah, it slides. You can put money in there for your bank. You can do a lot of things with these here. They're fine for component trays too that you can dip out of. But we wanted to go another step. And so that came up with what's called our dice tower system. And this is more than just a dice tower. This is a complete system. You're going to notice here, I'm going to slide this over. You're not seeing this probably on the camera. On the bottom here, I'm going to pull it off. These connect similar to, a hook and receive, kind of like a Lego. This here is the corral. We're actually going to raise the height of it just slightly, so to make sure that dice pretty much always stay in here. They mostly do, but we noticed that we could make a little improvement on this corral. Well, this whole tray is just sitting on the rail. There's the legs, and you'll notice here there's a little ramp. There's also a really wonderful space for all these components. So these here, you can put your components in this. These here are specially designed to hold your dice at an angle. These wells here work for your components. These wells are actually going to be made slightly deeper. We did a prototype of this a while ago where they're deeper, so you can get a lot more information or a lot more components in there. So this is a prototype that is made 3D printed. This is going to be just adjusted slightly to accommodate more components there. But then what's great about this system is you hook on these rails, and you could just set it on the table too. So if you didn't want it on the rail, you could just set it on the table and it could be your own personal component tray. But then this hooks on the rail just at a slight angle. Then you add your dice tower. Now underneath here, I'm going to hook on the corral, which I don't know if you probably can't adjust the camera.
Can't quite see it.
You're not going to see this. I put a video on the update that I just sent. There's a video of us rolling dice in this, so you can see exactly. And I'm going to do a whole bunch more stuff to show you better pictures of how this all looks. But what do you think?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I saw it and I immediately wanted to play with it. So I'm super excited about this. The fact that you can switch out the dice tower tops is amazing, because then it makes it so much easier to theme game nights. I'm excited.
Breaking Game says Dice Tower would work well with Eldervale.
We need to get an elemental Eldervale dice tower, baby. That would do something cool. Well, what we have available right now, and this is going to be an evolving product line for Daedalus and for Game Toppers. So we're going to continue to improve doing this. This here is a 3D printed Viking longboat. It's a typical dice tower inside, but this is going to be a polyethylene that is paintable, that you can actually prime and then paint. So when you see the detail actually of these shields that are on the boat and the dragon head, the wood grain that's actually in the boat, and this is just a 3D printed, and because this is so big, it was printed in a very quicker fashion to get it done. Otherwise this thing could take 3-4 days to print because it's such a big deal. So this is a prototype. But these prongs, they sit right on this tray. So what's great about this tray, everybody can have their own tray. So whatever game you're playing, you can have your own tray. We're going to develop a little screen. It's not done yet, but a screen that goes in these pegs too here. So if you want it to be a private component tray for those kind of games, and everybody can have their own, and you can slide it on the rail so that you get more real estate on your table. People think, oh, I can't play Watson. Is that big enough to? Yeah, with these kind of accessories, you're gaining all kinds of real estate.
Oh, gosh.
But then the cool factor. So, excuse me, Wolfka. So now we pop that on there, and okay, would you
do the honors?
Do the honors.
Yes, excellent. I'm gonna wait for you anytime.
Ba-boom. And it's just so much fun. What's really cool about these removable legs, you can run them the opposite direction, or they hook on in this direction, but you can take the component tray off, reverse it, and then the throat here, the chute of the dice tray down here could be facing you. So now you have your double component tray in front of you and maybe your DM screen, and you have a dice tower that will roll right into your collapsible cup tray, for instance, or the covers. So all of a sudden you have a privacy dice solution.
Yes. Oh my God.
It's reversible.
That is fantastic. I didn't even think of that. You guys think of everything.
Ben and I came up with that design back at the Reno trip. And we were in there brainstorming for almost 4 hours. And then all of a sudden there was that eureka moment. Oh, and
yeah, I love it.
But it's one thing to have an idea, and then it's another thing to execute that idea. Ben has put a ton of time into this. Him and I have gone back and forth. A lot of work going through mold injection processes, getting this to where we could make it affordable. And so I knew what was going to be best for most folks. Buying one of these is just not the best. It's cool, if you're playing solo games, but everybody wants one of these. Mm-hmm. And we're playing 4 people. I want 4 of those on my table.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I was able to take a look at some volumes, and if we hit different volume goals, well, if I can sell these in packages where you buy 2 of them or buy 4 of them, my volume goes up. Well, that makes all the pricing go down. Mm-hmm. So by you guys backing volume type of purchases, and it helps me be able to provide it affordably. So I thought, how do we make that look? So that's the stretch goals: 4,000, 410, 420, 430, where you can get sets of 4, and the complete system, sets of legs, set of the corrals, the dice component tray, and the dice towers. This is a brand new, we just received it yesterday, resin printed castle. This thing is awesome.
I love the logo on the front.
And resin gives a much better idea of what the final product is more likely to look like than just regular FDM 3D printing. So you're seeing a lot of the quality that would come from injection molding, and we can get even more quality.
It's amazing. And then the fact that you can print it, right? Or paint it, yeah. And so this thing, again, it just sits on there. And now the backside of this with the castle tower, for instance, all of your component trays are fully accessible behind it. It almost provides a privacy screen in itself. But there you go. Live a little.
That's the best.
Whenever we have these dice towers at conventions, even the wooden ones that we're refining, we still have that castle wood tower if you like to assemble your own. But that's one of the benefits too. These are going to come in 2 pieces, so they're going to clip together. So it's going to be way different. You're not going to have to put together a assembled, a wood insert type of product. So some people like that. Some people struggle with that. This takes care of that totally and really elevates our game in the quality.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
One of the things too on this is we have that complete system with the dice tower with special prices. Instead of you buying the tray and the legs and the corral all separately, which you can do. So if you ever needed more legs or if you broke one or whatever would happen, they're available individually, but I price them as a kit so that you can get the whole system, okay? That gave you a special price. Not only did I do that, I did a separate bundle where you can buy 2 of these kits, okay? And it saved you quite a bit of money. It was like $79 for 2 full kits.
Oh, wow.
So you look at those stretch goals, those prices are going to go up. They're priced really right here for us to be able to bring them to market, hopefully get some volume out of it. If you like this kind of thing at all, I think you'll love this system. We're gamers and it's designed by gamers for game use. And I think we've done something really cool.
That's so awesome. I'm excited.
Many thanks to Ben. Him and I have worked very hard, and it's not an easy process going back and forth and working. And, I'm demanding because I care deeply about my customers getting what they want. And Ben has been working tirelessly to make this happen. And so we're really excited about the possibilities of this line growing in the future as well. So there's a little of that.
Pretty much caught up on questions. So.
All right. Well, let's talk about a couple quick things with our collapsible component trays. We have one sitting in front of us. Talk about responding. Our manufacturer, the owner, was actually at our studio here just on Tuesday. I told him about our collapsible cup holder designs and what we were talking about regarding HDPE wanting to have the same heft and strength of what we offer now. Mm-hmm. And I said, but I said, I have a 3D printed prototype, blah, blah, blah. But I said, I'd really like to show my backers an actual real product. And he said, well, let me see what I can do. They went, put all the specs in, and were able to produce this prototype for me in 3 days. Josiah just picked it up less than an hour ago.
Oh, wow.
This here is going to show you, this is an actual HDPE component tray.
Okay. And don't let the camera fool you. The milled indents are completely smooth. It's just that the camera picks up the glare from the material.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good point. This here, and actually it's just got this beautiful almost design that looks so cool. When this collapses, the material, this is a prototype material that is silicone. Okay, it's very thin material. And when you normally injection mold, there's pressure, there's other kinds of things that go in on how the mold gets filled. Well, when you make a prototype mold, you have to do a lot of other things that gravity basically fills. So you have to use really lightweight material to make a prototype. To make a prototype out of the real material can cost tens of thousands of dollars, so it's not that easy depending on what you're doing. This particular design is very complicated, but it allows us to have the can holder, and that also can be a component tray, but that allows your beverages not to tip. You also have a component tray here, another component tray here. You notice now this here is longer than it used to be. And the benefit of that is this. You're going to see, this is our new prototype double component tray. Instead of the round little holes for the aluminum cans, now there's a groove there. See that there's a little channel? That's what this cup holder fits in. And then this cup holder is collapsible. So it will collapse down, okay? Expands, correct. It's a better word. And then this fits inside of the single tray. It's so hard for me to do this well on the camera. This here fits inside of here, but it also can be taken out, and now it fits inside of here. See if I can do this a little better. That pops in right there. It fits in this gasket. So when weight is put on it, this cannot fall out. It's incredibly durable. Even with this cheap, thin, rubbery, it's almost jello-like type of material. It's really good. And we've put quite a few pounds of weight in here, and it holds it. But the collapsing, there it's now collapsed so that you can easily transport this in your bag. In addition, you notice the clear cover. This fits down on the lower part, and when this collapses down, see, I have to put a little bit of pressure to get it down. On the new material, it'll take a little more pressure. So if you're fiddling with your components, it's not going to pop down. I have some that are for sandwiches and stuff that do the same thing that you can cook with in the microwave. Mm-hmm. I told Kay, I said, you can actually cook in this stuff. So she's going to
come out with a recipe book, how to make eggs in your game topper table, breakfast and a board game.
and then afterwards you put your mat in the wash after.
Yeah, exactly. It's the new board game breakfast. I think we'll have to change branding.
Game Toppers, bringing breakfast to you.
Upgrading your breakfast experience.
You can mold your own sausage.
The ultimate gaming breakfast.
Oh, we might be getting a little delirious now.
Like, grab me your big water bottle over there.
All right.
One of the benefits here is now we can put cups with handles. This here, now it can handle this great big honking bottle that's full of water, and it's just in there just fine. It also you have you could roll your dice in here, and this could be a dice tray for components. Notice here too, we've made some improvements where there are actual component wells on the double component tray as well. This here is now the same length as this. So when we put this together, you all of a sudden now can make a very long tray in front of you for your miniatures armies, for your computer notebook, even for, a snack tray, things of that nature. And you can keep adding to it. So if you want a whole extra row for, the banking or whatever, for management of all your components.
For all of the things.
In addition to that, we have this extra coaster. This extra coaster that goes on top. These here now, what thing that's so great about these are washable. Okay. So now all of a sudden, you're not going to have to worry about condensation as much. With the cork that we used before was nice, but it did wear eventually, that kind of thing. Or this here is we're basically providing much more of a lifetime type of product.
Definitely. Our game toppers are going to outlast you.
So do we have any other questions?
No, not at the moment.
All right. I think real quickly, we're doing pretty well on time. We'll probably try to wrap this up in the next 15 minutes. One of the things that our backers, you guys are awesome. I love you guys are thinkers, we're gamers. And they're like, well, what about this? And what about that? And I'd like, how about this? I love the interaction. I love the feedback. I appreciate it. I'm not always able to activate on it. So hope you give me a little grace when I can, because if I can, I will. One of the things that people have been so excited about is the leaf extensions.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So people are crazy excited about it. Okay.
The infinite combination.
Yes.
You guys are fantastic. So people are going, well, can't I buy the Lestrade and then add a 24 extension and then buy an accessory rail and make a 3-foot by 5-foot? Well, the answer is absolutely yes. Good thinking. It's more expensive to do that than other things. So a better value would be the Watson. But you can do it. I mean, you're saving basically 2 inches in width for someone that still wants 5 feet. So it's possible, but we have the Adler toppers. So we think we've provided all these wonderful options for people, but other people are going, well, what about this? Personally, 3x5 is not a good gaming size for a lot of games. And that's why we have the 3x4 and the 3x3 Lestrade for smaller games. But once you start playing games that need more footprint, that 2 extra inches makes a huge difference, especially games with player aids in front of you.
Oh my gosh! I had to switch out the homes that I had on my table for the Watson because you were trying to play Gloomhaven, and nothing like stretching out your board all the way over here, but the map is here. So we switched to the Watson, and man, it makes such a huge difference. You have no idea.
Well, and there's different perspectives. You know, it's like our Watsons are our number one seller, but the homes sell really well because they're fantastic for those 3-foot tables, but it's not as wide. So you have to put stuff on the sides, like you're saying. It's still a very good solution. So, and then some people want that great big honking Mycroft.
Oh gosh.
Well, to me, it's way too big for the games. I play a ton of games, but I don't stand up and play miniature games and reach across it. But other people reach across it just fine and love it. So there's no criticism or anything like that. It's whatever's best for you. The reason we say all this is we're not really supporting a 3-foot by 5-foot size, but I'm getting a lot of requests that people want 3x5. One of our competitors actually has a table that's 3x5. I specifically didn't design mine like that. There's some reasons to design it that caused it to be more manufacturable at that size. But I was designing my topper to be for gaming, you know, that, and nothing, I'm not being critical, but I don't want to compete with their product either and provide something for them. Honestly, I think they're just fine. So I have no issues with that. My whole thought about it is everything we've done is to work around our system. And that's the Watson. That's the Holmes. That's the Mycroft. So now we've given these wonderful options for the Leaf, which was really an engineering design to make our brand new Moriarty and Mycroft, where you get 2 tables in one. But knowing people would go, I want that extension. I want to make my Watson an 84-inch Watson. I want my Holmes to be 8 foot long. And so went to my manufacturer and he says, yeah, it's the same jig. It's just different sizes and costs. It's no problem. Fantastic. Let's do it. You guys have embraced it. It's wonderful. So we came out with the XL Leaf bundle where we gave you a deal and gave you the bigger map. Well, it's awesome. And I mean that. I'm grateful for everybody's feedback. I really am. All of a sudden it's which mats that I said we can do the red one. This is going to be a low volume thing. I can't do 16 mats in 3 different XL sizes. I can't do that right now. It would be not manageable and probably not a very good business decision. Or I'd have to charge you a lot of money to make it worthwhile. So I don't like doing that either. Well, got thinking about it a little. Our brand new Hex grid green mat, it's amazing. I'm so surprised. Our war terrain green really looks good. But I didn't like the artwork, honestly, when I saw the Hex overlay. But we have a lot of people that are asking us, you know, they play Battletech and they play different war games and they want that 1.5-inch Hex. So I was listening. So we designed it. I actually had a sample printed. It's way better than I thought. I actually really like it. I'll post some more pictures on it for you. I put some on the Game Topper Facebook group, Game Topper Nation Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, guys, join the group.
Oh, it's great. It's a great tool. It's a great place to go when you have those last-minute questions that Burky can't get to. And then you can talk to actual customers and other backers and see their experience. People are so quick to respond, and I'm so grateful for them, because sometimes I get the message ping at 4 a.m. and I'm like, oh no. And people are on it. It's amazing.
It gives people a different perspective. And
Sure.
I try to chime in every now and then if I can. I always tell people this is not a customer service portal. If you need customer service, you need direct support, please email us at support@GameToppers LLC. You'll get a hold of Josiah, and at Burky at GameToppers LLC. We'll respond to any issues you might have or any needs that you have. But this was just a community page where we could share ideas. Honestly, you guys in this Game Topper Nation, thank you. You've been my brain trust. You've encouraged me. You've fueled me. You have given me inspiration. And I've been able to take your information, and it's helped me immensely. I thank you for doing it. It's like it's beyond. I mean, what a wonderful thing.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm hearing that a lot of you, when I pose the question, it's amazing how everybody wants something else. They like different. You guys love choice.
Yeah.
And everybody has a different opinion, and every one of those opinions is valid. You know, it's okay. I like the red. I like the green. I like the hex. I want the adventure. Well, really, I probably want the scythe too, and I want the Viking. That's true. I'm reconsidering some things. I've been thinking about our fulfillment process, and Kickstarter allows us to do something that normally I would not be able to forecast adequately.
Okay.
It's going to allow us to forecast so that I can make some accommodations that won't hurt the company, but help you. It may be a situation that I may not be able to offer very many of them in the future, because I just can't buy 3 styles of 3 sizes and stock it in inventory for a long period of time. It becomes a diminishing return. I only have so much money to work with. I'm doing a ton of stuff on this campaign. But if you want an Adventure XL mat, I can print you an XL Adventure mat. It's going to be a little bit different price, so I'm going to have to figure that out just specifically. But I'm going to be able to give you choices, and of the XL extension bundle. Currently, if you get the 36-inch bundle, you're going to get a 8-foot, 36 by 8-foot Holmes mat. That's the XL mat that comes with the bundle. If you buy the Watson, you're going to get a 38-inch wide by 84-inch wide. That's a crazy weird size. You'll never find anybody printing a mat for it. We're going to print a mat for you. Okay. Then the Mycroft XL is a 4-foot by 8-foot. That's a big honking mat, and it's crazy heavy. It's awesome though, right? I'm going to provide it to you, and I'm going to provide it in 3 styles. Those are to be determined, and I'm going to put up a poll tomorrow, and I'm going to get feedback. And if your choice doesn't win, I ask you for patience. Maybe on the next go run we can increase it or do something differently. But I'm going to take this feedback and find out what you really want. Do you want just the straight War Terrain green? Do you want the War Terrain green with the hexes? Do you want the adventure mat? Or do you just want the red, crimson red patterned mat? This is mostly for extra long, big games. Many people are telling me that, hey, I just want a solid color. I can put some of your other mats in the middle. Other people are saying, no, I just soon have. Mostly what I'm hearing is they want the green in one fashion. Either the hexes or the terrain. Some people don't want the hexes, some people do. I'm going to print that hex mat in our other styles anyway. You're going to see a stretch goal coming up because there's people that want that. It's something that I want to add to our repertoire so that we do reach out to other segments in gaming, the wargaming community and some of the role-playing community. Okay, So we're going to work on getting you 3 options.
I think we got one more question.
Real quick on this topic, 3x5. It seems like there's a lot of requests for it. I really don't want to do it and have another design. But I'm going to ask that question in the poll. And if we have enough nexus, enough a group that want to have that 3x5 size, I may look at making that available, but probably just in one style. Probably our red, unless everybody tells me no, I just want the blue
Or the gray.
or the gray. You know, that's the problem. That's exactly the problem. Everybody wants something else, and I just can't do it, honestly. So you'll have to understand that. I'm sorry I can't do everything, but that is the way it is. But I am listening. So if there's enough, and I don't care, you know, if there's enough people that want to buy it, I can make it. It's not hard for us to make it. It's hard for us to stock it after the fact if there isn't volume. So
Breaking Game says, I want ever Eldervale.
Yeah.
And then we want it all, actually.
yeah, we want it all. I want it all.
So we do have a couple of questions. So this one was from a while ago, but Joseph asked, this is kind of a follow-up to his previous question. The toppers, so he said, so are all the toppers stained by you guys except the Dogmite toppers, correct? How do you choose which stain to use, and are they clear-coated for protection?
No, they're not stained. We're not doing any staining personally. Our wood comes finished with a clear coat. So when you see the oak, it's a natural clear coat finish on natural oak. So it has kind of a honey golden with a clear catalytic finish that's very hard. The premium walnut is natural walnut, and that's finishing. There's an additive that's added to maintain so that the coloration basically remains fairly consistent. But that's the beauty of wood. Every stick is just slightly different, but they basically the same process. That will allow us in years to come to always have a consistent product. So no staining, but finishing. The staining on the Dogmite, however, is done by Dogmite, and that will be sent to us fully finished from them that we hand install.
Mark says he wants it all, but his wallet says no.
I know the feeling, Mark.
So all I can say is late pledge manager.
Yes. And then Joseph asked again, do you find yourself using the Velcro pockets in the storage bag for anything? We tried putting accessories in the previous bag, but it made the bag a bit unstable. So not sure what to use it for. So one thing about that is there's a couple of things. One is that pouch is actually long enough for a mat. Because we didn't have any mat bags at that point, we designed that pouch to be a great place to store a rolled up mat to take with you. People would also put accessories in there, but because of the aluminum cups, they're so big and they don't collapse, and it would cause that bag to bulge, like you're saying. But now with the collapsible cup holders, those are going to fit in there a lot flatter, and they shouldn't cause issues. So that pouch would be perfect for your accessories, or still a mat if you got some extra mats you don't have bags for. Or
that's right.
Or you want to put the mat in the bag, you know.
And don't forget, guys, about our Game Topper Game Tote. You'll see that there. We've been doing different specials at conventions with that, and a lot of people have owned the Game Topper Game Tote.
I brought 2 with me today.
they pack. You can get like 3 Ticket to Ride size boxes and another one in there. There's a front pouch where you get like 5 of the Rio Grande or the Z-Man style boxes, you know, that fit like that. They make a really nice square. They're crazy heavy. It's a zippered edge with a seam all the way around the edges that help protect the corners. It's not a padded bag, but it's slightly insulated. Mm-hmm. So it keeps your hot games hot and your cold games cold. So bad.
It's also great to keep accessories in.
That's right where I was going. You can use that to bring some of your extra things to game night. And those are fantastic game totes. I love them. I really do. I know there's a lot of other great affordable bags out there too, but this is a nice bag. And just wait. In a couple days, you're going to see a stretch goal that we have that in mind to further enhance what we're doing.
And then Ramzan asks, will you be offering the acrylic tops for the version 1 cup holders?
Yes. We talked about that in our last Q&A too. Ben is going to make some that are of that older orientation, so that'll be a nice replacement set. Yeah, good point. Good question.
And then Charles asked, what's the status of the acrylic cover? Seems like they're a sure thing, but the campaign page still shows them as locked.
Yes, they are currently locked. I was waiting for certain numbers to help, but we have been part of running a Kickstarter that a lot of people don't recognize is you plan ahead, you know what you need to do. You're working, we work crazy hard to get a lot of things done. My daughter does our art assets. They own a historical costume company. They were just down in Louisville, Kentucky this last weekend doing a Jane Austen show.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
It was crazy, right?
That's beautiful.
Well, I couldn't be more proud of them. They do an amazing job, but you know, it's not like we have a staff of 20 people and a whole art team that we can make all this stuff in a day. So there's some things that we've been working on our art assets and modulating depending on what we're finding, where we are in the campaign, what we are forecasting for revenue. So can we offer this and it makes sense? We are definitely going to be able to offer the acrylic covers. I haven't put out the stretch goal number. I know we're nearing the end of the campaign, but that is a reality. The only thing that I'm waiting for some pricing on is to do it with a Moriarty and then possibly a 3-part version for a Mycroft. That one is difficult for us. There's a lot of reasons. It's never a matter of whether we can do it. It's always a matter of whether we can do it affordably. And I have inquiries into that. My manufacturer is working on it right now. So I'm waiting for that information. That's been part of the hesitation. Also for our shipping solutions, I'm still waiting on some pricing on that actual package. So there's some things in flux there, but we are going to be able to offer it in some fashion. So rest assured that they'll take advantage of that.
We have one more question here, which I think goes into kind of our final point as well here for the stream. Joe asked if I cannot quite make the purchase today, can I go in on the $10 pledge and in the pledge manager purchase, say, a Mycroft package?
Yeah, it's a great question. We are going to we're going to open our late pledge survey right after the campaign, right before Gen Con. So within 3 or 4 days, you're going to see the campaign. Kickstarter is going to charge you for anything you backed in the campaign. Then our late pledge manager is going to come out. You're going to get a survey where you get to make all your choices. You get to do all of your add-ons. That we're going to leave open until August 25th. So August 26th is a Monday. That's when we're going to charge any add-on purchases. That's when we're going to charge your shipping charges. If you're in Minnesota, your sales tax is going to be. If you're a international backer, your shipping charge and your VAT for your country is going to be charged. So during this interim late pledge time, you can add packages if you wanted. That's not a problem. We're going to offer the same prices, and we want to reward all of our backers, but we're considering this little stretch of time part of our campaign, actually. And the reason we're doing that, we really need people to back during the campaign so that we can hit these goals and start to receive funding. But late pledges helps us as well. And we have Gen Con.
Yeah.
That's the weird part about the timing of when we needed to launch and all of those things, our manufacturing cycle, a ton went into making the decision on the timing. Well, we don't want to lose momentum during Gen Con, but we didn't want to wait till after Gen Con. So we want people seeing our product at all these publishers to go, oh, I want one of those. And we still want them as a part of our nation. And we are going, after that late pledge goes, we are going to keep the pledge manager open at least through the end of the year so that we can continue to get more orders, especially to get bulk shipments to Europe. But those backers that back after August 25th, they're not going to take advantage of all the things you guys are going to take advantage of. A lot of these stretch goals, these extras that we're giving, these are loyalty rewards. Shipping prices right now, honestly, we are subsidizing shipping in our prices. Our packaging costs a lot of money, and we are not recouping that. We're doing that as a reward to our Kickstarter backers. So you're going to enjoy better pricing, better specials. People, after the fact, you're still going to get some great prices. We're not going up to full retail right away. We want to continue the program. So
Joe says, I'm in Minnesota, very happy to support a company from Fergus Falls.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. That brings up a point. We've had a lot of Minnesota people have reached out to me. Our fulfillment center here is in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. And for a $25 charge, that helps us cover our packing and what we've built in. You can do a pickup in Fergus Falls to save shipping. So if you want to drive to Fergus Falls, we would be happy to help you with that. And we will take care of that in the late pledge survey, where you would contact us for pickup, and we would then put that in the notes and schedule that with you. It's fairly easy for us to do on the back end of it. There's one other announcement I want to make. Many of you, we've been talking a lot about the XL Leafs and the XL mats. Well, guess what? We have a lot of wonderful backers from Generation 1 that have been saying, I really would like a luxuriant XL Leaf to match my topper. Can you do it? New backers are saying, can I get a premium walnut one? You notice in the update, we put a premium walnut homes with a 36-inch standard black aluminum and laid it all out for you and showed you the picture. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's kind of a two-tone, kind of cool thing. But all that said, still a lot of people want the premium walnut. They want the luxuriant oak, so it all matches. Basically, all that happens in our manufacturing process is for us to change from the 24-inch standard hat pieces that go on both sides of the leaf to the luxuriant mold. The biggest problem with it is us needing to install 24-inch pieces of wood. We hadn't priced that out. We didn't have the manufacturer to see if there was any issues with the production of that. I talked with my manufacturer this Tuesday about all of this. We have some supply of our previously finished Waverly oak wood materials. This is going to allow us to offer a limited quantity. I'm still waiting to hear on exactly how much of that would convert, but we probably are going to be able to make maybe 20 or 30 max. Won't be a lot, but it'll be something. The oak and the walnut, it's basically the exact same process. So we can, one way or another, get that wood product. I'm getting my costs. I should have them Monday. But for all of you that want a luxuriant extension leaf, Game Toppers is going to offer that for you.
Yay.
It's going to be limited through the Kickstarter and through the late pledge manager. We are not going to stock a bunch of this material. It's too hard for us to manage that going forward until we do another campaign or something. You know, I might have a few extra units, you know, just for, you know, to make sure we have any to cover any service or anything of that nature. But Kickstarter, again, you guys help us do this. Yeah. It allows us to produce product that we might not have been able to produce without your, now I know that I've got 25 units I need of this and 50 of this and 100 of that. All of a sudden I can plan. My manufacturer was willing to make that accommodation for us. It's going to cost more, but we're going to be able to do it. And I think that's going to help make a lot of you really excited about that one.
Yes.
And based on some feedback and questions we had from you guys, we were able to we took some pictures of a standard extension leaf inside two halves of a walnut Holmes. So you get the aluminum finish in between the wood finish. And because of the way our rails are designed, where the wood is inside the aluminum, it it actually looks really nice, even having that standard leaf inside of a premium
It's
topper.
pretty cool.
There are options,
especially with the luxuriant oak. You know, I think if I had the walnut, I think I'd want a walnut extension leaf so it matched personally, because that walnut. Oh.
Yeah, they got me started on the new. Stop trying to talk me into another topper.
Yeah. You will not get a custom sculpted Dogmite XL leaf. I'm telling you right now, that's not going to happen. But these other ones, but I tell you, you put a standard rail with the Lux oak, because it has the HDP black corners. It's almost like it's a special design. It's kind of cool. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Hey, I think we're about ready to wrap up. We tend to go on really long, but
wait, we're finishing under 2 hours. What's
under
this?
2 hours?
Wait, what?
This is going to be recorded later. So, Kay, what kind of thoughts do you have, or final thoughts would you want to talk about?
Nothing much really, Burky. I'm just overwhelmed. There's so many awesome things and so many awesome products. I would have never imagined in 100 years that Game Toppers would even come this far. I mean, with the innovation, it's just like you think to yourself, this is an affordable table that I can get under thousands and thousands of dollars. And I love every little bit of work and effort that Burky puts into making these tables, because they are so beautiful, and they are even more amazing than you would think in person. It's like once you're in front of a Game Topper, it's hard to ever go back to anything else. I don't even have tables in my house anymore. I just have Game Topper holders. That's all they are.
You have to get some of those mat storages too. Huh?
Oh man, that's the one thing I'm saving all my money for. I have so many mats at home. I'm gonna get like 6 more mats, Burky. Thanks.
We've got people that are going in on mats, where they're going to buy 10 mats. So they want to get the even multiple, so they get the free storage bags. And so they're combining their, it's just, what a joy, right?
I love it.
Well, again, Game Topper Nation, our backers, those of you that are just exploring how a Game Topper can convert your existing table into a high quality game table and provide you all these extra options. We just want to thank you for joining and looking at it. And I'd encourage you to watch some of the reviews that are down. These are people that own the toppers. Go to the Game Topper Nation Facebook group. Find out what people say about us. Talk to people outside. I'm horribly biased. I love this, but I care about this product. And one thing I think people will attest to is they know we care. They know we love this hobby. We know that we're implementing procedures to do what we say. That's something that's really big to me. And we want you to be assured that, hey, we're going to be here for you. And if you ever have a question, don't hesitate. Don't feel like it's too stupid. If you don't feel comfortable in the public forum, personal message me. I'll respond very thoughtfully and give you any information you need. So awesome. With that, Josiah,
good to go.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. We've got 5 days. Let's go. Let's push this baby. I still have a dream for $750,000 so we can hire some more people so I can actually sleep. Okay. So
sleep's overrated.
Sleep less, run harder. Sleep less, run harder. I hear Iron Will in my head.
Oh my gosh!
Seriously, help us share this content, this campaign, and share it with your friends. If you see me posting on social media, man, those retweets, those reshares, I know some people don't like it because it makes them feel uncomfortable with shilling and stuff and whatever. I get that. But boy, if you feel comfortable at all, please help us share your experience. If you already own a topper and you're excited about it, that'll help us a ton. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next time.
Next Wednesday, we're going to be at Your Turn Board Games, Alexandria.
Wednesday?
On Wednesday, Your Turn Board Games at noon. And we're going to be doing live right in the store. They have Game Toppers there. And so we're going to have another last minute question and answer session Wednesday. So if anybody else has any other questions, join us for that show too. That'll be fun. We'll be with Kelly Hughes and with Kent Stacy, the owner of the game store.
Lovely. That's awesome.
All right, folks. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks so much.